Hello, my name is IObioha, and this is my final virtual machine project for IT235. In this project, I created a new Windows Server environment for the functional Ensign Success Center. I created the Ensign Success.corp domain, organized the users and computers using Active Directory, configure security groups and NTFS permission, created group policies and implemented a backup domain administrator account. So I'll go ahead and show you my server domain. So here, as you can see, I have Ensign Success Corp. So I'm starting with the Active Directory environment. The domain for this project is ensignsuccess.corp. As you can see here, I chose the domain name because it directly represents the Ensign Student Success Center environment required by the assignments. So here, as you can see, I organized the environment using organizational unit. I separated managers. So here I separated managers. So here I separated managers. So here I separated managers and advisors into different OUs, organizational unit, because their responsibilities and access requirements are different. I also created a separate computer OU, so computer related policies can be managed independently from user accounts. This structure makes the environment easier to administer and gives me more control over where policies are applied. So here, instead of assuming permissions individually on every user, I use security groups, the advising document group. The advising document group contains the center manager and all advisors because they need to read and write advising documents. The main report group contains only the center manager because administrative reports are restricted. This follows the principle of least privilege. I also created a backup domain administrator account named backup.admin. So this account provides an alternative administrative account if the primary domain administrator account becomes unavailable, because this is a highly privileged account. It should not be used for normal daily activities and its credentials should be protected. and its credentials should be protected, as you can see. So here I created two required document folders. The advising documents folder and contains the here, as you can see, this contains the final text files. So the advising document shows folder allows the center manager and all 5 advisors to read and modify documents I assigned this access through a security group rather than individually, because group-based permissions are easier to manage as the organization grows. So the admin report folder is more restricted. Only the center manager is given read and write access through the administrative report group, security group. So the advisors do not receive access because they do not need this report to perform their normal responsibility. So I also created a group policy for the standardized desktop background. This is configured as a user configuration policy because the desktop setting follows the user. And the policy points to the Ensign College logo in the domain SVL location. Okay. So I also created a group policy for the default browser homepage. The required homepage is the Ensign College Information Technology page. Using the group policy, using group policy ensures that the setting can be centrally managed rather than configured manually on every computer. So finally, I configured the domain password policy. The minimum password length is 12 characters and password complexity is enabled. These controls help establish a stronger baseline for account security across the domain. So I use GP updates /force to refresh the group policy settings, and the GP result /R to verify the policy being applied. This provides evidence that the policy are not only created but are being processed by the system. So in summary, I created a Windows Server 2025 data center environment for the Ensign Student Success Center using the ensignsuccess.com domain. I organized the environment using organizational units, created the required manager and advisor account, created security groups, implemented least privilege, NTFS permission, created the required document folders and files, configured desktop and browser policies, enforced a strong password policy, and created a backup domain advisor account. One of my main takeaway from this project is that Active Directory is not simply about creating users. It is also about creating an organized structure that makes security access control and administration easier. So by using OUS groups, permissions, and group policies together, I can create an environment that is both manageable and secure. This project also helped me see how planning translates into implementation. The design I created also created earlier in the course provided a foundation for building this necessary environment, and implementing it helped me understand why each component was necessary.